All right, guys, what's up? What's up? Good morning. Welcome back. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, did I miss? Well, that's all right. I am live on YouTube. Typos. Okay, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. So we got a decent stock today that's moving up. CTMX. CTMX is looking promising. It is the beginning of the new month, and we're looking to start the month off on a good note. We did have a red day yesterday, and hopefully we can see some better momentum coming into May, right? As we know, the summer months are coming up, and for me, the summer months are usually when the sun is shining its brightest, and so I'm looking forward to a good May, a disciplined May, a focused May. And if the momentum is to trend in the downwards direction, I think we're gonna have to really continue to exercise discipline, right? Because it's not easy. It never really is easy. Although on the outside, people looking in, they might, they can't always say, hey, this guy, he just stands there, clicks buttons. This is easy business. But it's on the contrary. What we're doing here is very difficult and can be stressful, right? Especially mentally. Mentally, even a day like yesterday can be very frustrating. So we got to stay locked in. We got to stay locked in, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing here coming into this beautiful month. So let's get into it. There's a couple of stocks that I'm watching. CTMX, PALI, IMCC, which is going to be essentially a maybe. I'm going to put a slash here just to kind of separate these. AKAN, and I believe there's another one, GETR, which is selling off and is a cheaper stock. I like to keep these in my recents on Thinkorswim, right? That way, if the stronger ones or the ones that I think can be good are weaker selling off, I can always easily rotate through and just check out the other ones, which is why I'll include them on the watch list. So for those of you tuning in on YouTube, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the YouTube live stream, right? Consider subscribing if you are a new viewer. So this is the screen, of course, here, including my level 2 that I'll usually be watching at. I will be taking this down. I'll leave it up here for a couple seconds. Why not? Can't do any harm. But yeah, I'll take this down here in a sec. But yeah, I'm watching CTMX, right? Looking decent. 12 million shares of volume, up 106%. This one here has a lot of potential and seems like the one. The third string stock, I'm not sure which one I'll want to watch. So perhaps AKAN. I mean, it's a little cheaper, but AKAN. Maybe this is the one I want to keep an eye on. Okay. Enough of this screen. Coming down to the main screens. Let's see. I'll start off with some trend lines here. So this thing is scattered with trend lines, and perhaps I get rid of the entire drawing set, clean it up a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, okay, much better, much better. So I'll put some fresh trend lines. So high point has been 350. It seems like we've been having trouble around this area. In fact, 337. I'm gonna put 337. The low of this red candle has been 287, which hasn't been bad. That gives me a bit of a range here over the recent time frame. Take a quick second to start up my screen recording. All right, looks good. Yeah, so this doesn't seem too bad. Looking at the daily chart, I'll check it out over in E-Trade. Let's see. Recently, we had highs around 285. We're pretty firm above that level. That's not bad. Going back to February of last 2 months. Before then, I'm seeing in January we pushed up to about 305. We're also pretty firmly above that level. Going back some more. Honestly, seems like it might have some room. I'd say 470, and then high of this gap down in December. I mean, this is all the way back in 2021, but 470 and then perhaps 506 area of interest. This could be good. Hopefully it's strong, right, and can keep going. The daily chart doesn't seem like there might be much resistance. There are some candlesticks that are there, but they don't really seem significant. The volume is a little lighter. And now I'm gonna put $5. If this gets up to 5, we should have a good day today. But we'll see how this does. There's no guarantees of anything, of course. That's CTMX. Not looking bad. 100% move. 14 million shares of volume. This is more of what we would see in a hot market in pre-market, right? Around this time of day. So maybe it's on to something. You know, is this a sign? Is this a sign? Is this a beacon? Perhaps. Quickly, just to take a look at the other two, AKAN and PALI. Let's see. AKAN, cheaper stock, high of just 16 cents. If I trade this one, I gotta really be careful. I usually don't like them this cheap, but sometimes they can provide opportunities. Let's see. Target. We had a big red candle on March 28th. 80 million shares of volume, high of 27 cents. That is a level that I'd be interested in. Short sellers perhaps can, or will keep an eye on that candlestick, maybe look for opportunities to short against. And even after that, around April 12th, we had a high point of 18 cents. Almost like we're seeing a small ABCD on the daily chart. So an area for me to keep an eye on as well. But other than that, we'll see how this does. 27. If this gets to 27 cents today, I mean, that wouldn't be bad. And, if it doesn't get rejected from there. PALI, quickly to take a good look. Pre-market high in 995. The lows here, I'll put it around 823. I'd love to see us back up above this level. We've broken down recently. Not ideal. I have daily levels at 965. High point of April 16th. 29 million shares of volume sold off. And then I have 1175, which is going back to January 30th of this year. It gapped up on the 28th, 29th, all the way to $22. And then sold off, and then that was the high point of the second gap. The move all the way up went to 22.35. So we'll see how this one does. I'm not sure if we'll get a good move, but if we do, I'll start with small size and then look to go from there. Just 500 shares on that one. I think CTMX, I can do 1,500. It looks a little bit better, but I still want to have my guard up. AKAN, I think I can have about 4,000. Still small size for that cheaper stock at 13 cents. Yeah, I think I'm looking pretty good. My aim here is to not start red. That's one of my main focus in these current markets. So I gotta watch out, gotta be careful. Don't want to be overly aggressive in the first couple of minutes here. If there's an opportunity or two, okay, but I don't want to overtrade, and I do want to keep that size small. Other than that, guys, remember the disclaimer here. Remember that the risk is real, right? Even yesterday, you guys saw me down $500 in the blink of an eye. Remember that day trading, like any other business in this world, has risk. So approach it with caution and do not just go guns a blazing, downloading all these apps and just throwing money into the apps. You still need to have some sort of competence, right? Not that we're not competent people, but sometimes we can be inexperienced and that can lead to mistakes. So, look to gain knowledge. It doesn't matter which style, which strategy you're trading. That way, at least you know what you're doing, all right? So, that being said, let's look to be disciplined traders here today. And let's look to have a good time. 10 seconds. I can already feel the green. It doesn't matter what yesterday was like. Today's a brand new day, and if this stock is good, I can already see it whispering in my ears, saying big green. So CTMX. So far, a little sideways. CTMX. A bit of a drop there to 18, 17. So we had resistance up there around that 40, 30, 40, 50 area. A lot of topping wicks coming into the open. So perhaps some sideways consolidation and pullback before move. I would hope. But still want to keep my guard up in case it wants to go. Okay, not quite. My selling is pretty high. Attempting break of 30 as that seller is coming down very quickly, but it's instantly back down, which we've been seeing a lot of. PALI. Lighter volume here so far, bigger spread. It's churning at those lows. PALI, I think the spreads are too dangerous. I'll leave it alone. Small seller 20, 19,000. Okay. Can we get over 30 here? There's 32. It needs to, if it's going to be good, it has to continue here. It's churning. It's fighting for its life. It's like you can see the short sellers just suffocating this thing. 32. Nope, it's coming down. At 7. Scratch trades. The low was about 16. We're coming down here, 07. It's so interesting how this sentiment will change. Like, I mean, this is it's something, right? It's definitely something. Let's back up a bit here. Like looking at this so far, there's no good pattern here. There's, okay, if we include the 5-minute chart, the pre-market chart, of course, is still, kind of consolidating in this range. But other than that, in terms of the like opening surge or, setting up for a 1-minute candle to make the new high, yeah, a bit of a bottoming wick there, the VWAP, but a little tricky. Nothing really looking good here yet. So I want to make sure to continue to rotate. Ideally, I want to be trading something that's trending up. If something is trending sideways and down, I'd rather avoid it, but there could still be opportunities. Right here, can we double bottom 05 perhaps and curl back up? It's like sometimes there can still be opportunities, but you got to keep the stops tight. There's There's a lot of hidden orders, man. You gotta keep the stops tight. There's a lot of red hitting the tape here, but it seems like there's hidden buyers, which is not a bad thing. Right? Hidden buyers is not a bad thing. Just don't know how many shares they're buying. But with all the red that's hitting 05, I would have expected it to come down already. And it's still holding. There's a seller at 10 of 30,000, so we'll see if it's able to get back over 10. There's 4. It just seems like a mess to me. I'm gonna keep waiting. The night and day difference continues. Sometimes what you got to do, you got to go back and watch some video from the hotter markets. Once you do that, and then you look back at what we're seeing today, it's like you can't believe it. In the conference that we went to, the seminar, like we had some of the guys there, like some of the big time traders were like, once the market starts to slow down, which they did, so some of them did suspect, like, April. It's like, yeah, we're out of here. Out like south. CTMX. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, we got 532 people. I do know things are not, as hot. I got to do the monthly recap. I think we finished like 17,000 or something last month. I'll I'll do it today. Today is a good day to do it. For those of you guys who were asking about the check mark in Discord, there's 2 people in particular. After the live stream, we can for sure get the screen share going. So we've been working on creating a new role in the Discord to essentially, reward transparency for the people who are doing well, not only in the classes, but inside of the general community. If you are interested in gaining, if you want to call it a badge or an icon next to your name, identifying that you are, consistent. There's no dollar amount really per se, but it's more so, hey, you're consistent. We can put a threshold, right? Maybe we can do like $10,000. We're still like working on the mechanics of it, but or let's say the guidelines for it. But if you're consistent and you're transparent, that's the main thing, right? So what you'll have to do, you'll have to screen share with myself or Marcelo or Big Steve, any of the lead team really. Um, even Tim or Triad, and you'll have to go through your stats with us, right? Metrics, statements, and so forth. Your broker, like you have to show your broker. Like if you can't show me your broker, then you don't have a chance. Like to the depths. Is Relentless Trader here to hack anybody? Come on, right? So if somebody can't show me on a one-on-one call, their account status, to the depths. To the depths you go. Just like that. Cutthroat and dry, There's been people in the past who were still waiting. We're still waiting on them. It's like, hey, watch on Monday. I'm gonna come and show you guys all my statements. This is like 5 years ago. Still waiting. PALI moving up, but lighter volume. Is it worth the risk? Is what I'm thinking here. The bear flag breakout was good. It's 85, but we're a little extended off of that level. There was a spread. I'm gonna get a fair fill, but it's still kind of high. Do not take me to the depths. All you do. I added break below 8. Now I'd love to see this bounce back up to like 30 over time, 40. We'll see if it does. KB, are the bulls still alive? It's so spready too. Could have been better. The first sell was good. Second sell, not so good. This type of stock is just high risk stuff though, man. Like, this is also not a stock I see myself making thousands of dollars on, you know? There's just too much risk. Like, I can't see myself taking 3,000-4,000 shares on this thing. It can flush down 70 cents like nothing. Some people will, because their appetite for risk is different. But the dip there to 8 again is gonna work. Not bad. It needs to get through 50 here if it's gonna be any good. So not bad. But can we get through 50? Do I want to attempt the breakout? Perhaps not. Breakouts have been trouble. Breakouts have been trouble. I want to be careful of an extended dip if it does come down again. We are at the VWAP, which could be an area for short sellers to try. In fact, I might just go short if it doesn't go. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, it looks like it's going. 60, 63. I'd have gotten a red trade there for sure. If I'd gotten filled. It's trying hard. It's trying. It's like we can't get at least one stock to give a normal move. Come on. It's still trying. Perhaps this could be good if it gets going. Because you can just feel the short sellers here. So if this goes, perhaps it becomes good with all the covering that we might get. So I'm gonna prep a position just in case that small chance of this going. Was that high? 75? Well, we need to pull away here. 85, 90. Okay, 80. More. Higher, higher. See, stalling out. It's already stalling out a little bit. Usually though, this is what gets the market like going. It's something like this when one of these stocks come along and then the short sellers just somehow get caught, man. And then you get the first stock halting up 3 times in a row, and then that's it. The rest is history. The low is 45. So far, so good. The volume is actually pretty decent, so I'm not gonna be buying aggressively on a bid unless I see like 40,000. I tried for 10,000 just now, did not work. The volume is higher than I would have thought. Now that I'm looking at the candlesticks. Pre-market high is all the way at 995, so it has room if it's to keep going. 96. Can we see break of 9? Okay. It is a little spready. I'm just gonna keep waiting. And I just keep waiting. I want to only take the best entries here. Not gonna rush it. Not gonna force it. It's a weak breakout. A stock at this price should be going to like 920 on the breakout. We only had 02. Struggle continues, but it's slowly pushing up. It's a not so great bill. Yeah, I'll take that loss. 72. I'm a little high. Oh, okay. I hate how the volume gets so distorted on that chart, man. See, having to do what I just did there is gonna cost me that trade because I'd have been in if I didn't have to check to see what the actual volume is. To know that the 5 minute pullback was looking healthy and not this red candle just consuming everything. It's one of the small issues with Thinkorswim's charting. So it's a great dip at 50 there. Time, 2 minutes. The new candle is coming in 40 seconds. 62 for the low of the current candle. $38. Not great. Can we bounce? 50, 47, 47. I got 40. I got 57, which is not ideal. All right, I'll take the loss. It might be failing here. It's like too much of a dip. If it doesn't hold here, for sure, it's finished. It's too much of a pullback here. That's a fair trade. I like that. I was aiming for mid to low 50s. Trying to hit the bid though to not get filled on the ask, but it's not holding up anyways. I can watch back over the level, but it seems like it needs to bounce. 45 and 32 on the bids, like it's just not good there. So even a nice looking pullback is gonna have some trouble here. I've been a little early. I've been a little early on some of these pullbacks. As Cactus is saying, McDonald's is hiring, which is an inside joke in the Discord whenever the market slows down. Pretty soon Marcelo will post the Wendy's application. We'll have to make our cash somehow, right? As we say that in good spirits. Snapchat. Snapchat back at 15. But we got to see Snapchat back at 30, man. I'll never forget that earnings call a couple months ago. I'm in at like 9. The stock is at like 17, 16 area. Goes up $2 a share on earnings. And then I watch this thing crash down to $8. Just unbelievable. Came out basically break even, but you know, was looking for that earnings call, man, to get us over 20. I didn't have a ton of shares, but you know, it was still um, it was a good move. The halt down is at 72. I wouldn't mind seeing it. And it might happen 72, 72. It looks like it might get locked in, halted down here. I think the dip should be decent, but it needs to gap lower. 72, can we resume it like 40? Titanic, disaster. From looking good, hero to zero. But this is where I lose my interest in a stock like this, is when even okay, even if I bought mid 50s thinking that, you know, the pullback should have been there. All right, even if I'm early, once we flush down to like 35 where it kind of landed, that's we need to hold up there. Like I'm already not even thinking we should go that low, but even if we do, you know, it's no hard feelings. Like we have to bounce there. If we can bounce there, then it's still alive. So CTMX, red to green. Once it starts to get below 35 area, for me, it's no man's land. Too much weakness. Okay. CTMX. Nice push to 22, but can we get a quick dip in here? 25. Perhaps no dip. 27. 28. 30. 32. 35. 40. It's squeezing perhaps. I can't take it here, it's just too extended. But it might keep going. 48. This is why you need that quick dip sometimes. It seems pretty thick too. This is a great move, especially for this type of market. In a hotter market, would I have jumping in at like 28? More than likely. The resumption on the other one, 57.09. Low here has been 34. It's a little difficult to determine a good entry here because, you know, are we holding high? This is a pretty tight pullback, all things considered, versus the move up. I mean, we came from like 303. This wouldn't be a bad thing, but it for sure would be bucking the trend of what we're seeing. Come on. It'll be bucking the trend. I mean, if I need to be aggressive, I will. But, will the stock remain consistent? I don't want to get aggressive and then it's like, selling off. $37. Does it resume? Okay, it did resume. Doesn't seem like there's anything good there. It's a good break of 50. As I'm looking at the resumption, lovely. It's not dipping. The halt up is at 402. 40,000 share seller. It's not going to matter. Honestly, as good as this is going up, like I'm not seeing any entries here. I'm gonna miss break of 50 though. Still waiting, still waiting. $72 teleports to 82. Does it want to continue up here? This price action is just very different. Very different price action here. The low of the last is 73. The 1 minute candle to make the new high would be at 89. There's a small seller, 50,000 at 90. 54,000 shares at 90. Now the volume on this has been pretty high, averaging like 2 million shares a candle. So the smaller sellers shouldn't be an issue at all. The new candle's 10 seconds out. We want to see that push through. Back down 81, 79. Just gonna keep it tight and keep waiting. Oh, not good. 60. Bit of a flush down there. 60, 58. Cool. All right. Low. 54. We're seeing a bit of a bottoming wick. You know, did not anticipate that type of drop. It's a good bounce off of the drop though. 55 to 70. It's a good dip. If you're anticipating a bigger move down. 84. I mean, so it's a move right back to the highs. Is the high of day push going to be any good though? The price action is a little choppy at the top. Perhaps a retest of the lows here. We got 3 minutes left in the 5 minute candle, so it's still a little young. I'm going to attempt the same trade that I did on the last stock if I get the opportunity to. That one went from 57 down to 30. Hopefully this one doesn't fail miserably. We'll see if I get the opportunity though. 71. Come on, talk to me nicely here. Talk to me nicely. I'll attempt a quick scalp here. Tight stop. I want the lower entry, but it doesn't seem like it wants to come down. I'll give it a quick shot here. We'll see if it curls a little bit. Just a couple cents. Can the 1 minute candle continue here? We're making this new high. Tight stops. I still don't mind that lower entry if it wants to come down. Will we be able to see a push over the high? Will we be able to see a push over the high? In case it's strong and it gives a dip, I will have size just in case. Real size. 4,000, which is not too bad, but just in case. So we're seeing a pullback here, which is typical. It's trying. Dip, 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 dip. Do not fail. Son of a gun. It's gonna fail. That's my trade with size right there. To the depths. To the depths, brother. I'll take that trade with size any day of the week, though. I love that trade with size. The breakout itself is it's just hard to know if we're gonna get a good move. So I'll just use moderate size, but once we can hold up that dip, I'll always be in it. Predictable, but not predictable. It failing is what's not predictable there. Once we get that move, we gotta hold up. This skews the chart a little bit, so it could be backside here. See, what's hard for me to know is like once I'm in it, it kind of like there's nothing happening for like a second. It's gonna be up or down. I every time in that situation is gonna be up or down. But there's no indication sometimes because if the red comes, it's what's gonna happen there. It's like, there's no hey 1-2 cent loss. Is it gonna teleport down or teleport up? So it's a risky trade in that sense, but majority of the time because we're under such a strong context, when we bounce, it's a good bounce and we're probably hunting down the halt level. Fair trade. That trade has given me a lot of most of the $10,000 days that I've had is that particular entry. So I'll take it. I'll take it in the good and the bad. Business as usual. What was my exit though? That 1500 position, 89 to 14. Not bad. I mean, that's a solid trade. Higher fill though with this entry. I thought I had 95, but that's fair. 98. We just need to see the bounce back. And the high was about 20. The halt level, I think, maybe 30 at the time. Now it's showing 59. So for me, I'm not going to touch it unless it gets back above 4 and it starts to hold up in that area, in and around that area. I think this is weakness here. But that dip is, on the first move up here over 350, that dip never came. Sometimes it doesn't give that entry. So if you miss the breakout, that's it, right? Sometimes it'll happen in that way, in at 390 and it just goes straight into the halt up. There's no pullback. In which case, if you miss 390, you miss the breakout trade completely. If the dip is there, then, there's a chance. But I like the intuition, knowing that if we get that move, we can position ourselves to do well. If the stock is going to continue to do well. The breakout at 350, just a little disappointing because I looked away at the resumption. P ALI, so I didn't even get a chance to see if I would have wanted to be back in. And that went from 50 straight up to 75. Opportunity is going to cost, as usual. It always does. Time that you spend looking at one stock, you're missing another. Two $600 red days in a row. Red 3 days in a row. Not good. Especially not on this stock. I'd say this is the best stock of the last 2 weeks. In terms of the move up, but it didn't give a lot of the volatility trades though. Still, once we got the push again, it just it kind of was just there, and then gradually went up from 75 to the 90 area. I'm in too high on this dip. So if I miss the breakout at 350 and I'm too high on the dip, kind of missing both high and low, which is not good. The best days for me is when I'm capturing the breakout and all the dips every time. But for the day to at least be decent, we got to capture at least half. We we typically can still end very green if we're 50-50, but we can't afford the losses to be flushes. Then that'll create an imbalance to the losing side. If the breakout, even if we're capturing the breakouts, but then we lose on the dips, if we're getting a 15-cent breakout and a 30-cent flush, then the odds will be against me. So we'll see what it does here. If it gets back over 90, it needs to be strong. We don't want to see, 95 and then it flushing down to like 80. I think if that happens, then for sure it's finished. It's already not looking great because of the context of this market. So there's 97. Right here, it needs to not flush down. If this can hold up and push through, could be good. What's it going to be? We don't want to see 80 out of nowhere. Okay, it might mean business. It's kind of aggressive. Let's give it a sec. Might mean business though. 4-4. All right. If it continues like this could be good. High current candle is 10. All right, cool. 14. Holy smokes, it's gonna go all the way. Damn, I did not expect that. It's like a hot market stock. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I expected maybe 30 or something if it was gonna like go, but and oh man, I'm close to buying there, pretty close, but I just wasn't convinced. I honestly was thinking like 418 and then like maybe it like comes back down to like 10, 5 before any sort of real move, but it's gonna go all the way. Brother, 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 brother. Wow, impressive. Did anybody in the Discord capture that move right there? Let's see. Oh, Beam sold 10 seconds too soon. Tim said he also sold 10 seconds too soon. I almost bought at 15, but I'm thinking like, you know, probably gonna come close to the highs, come back down. Even if it goes, I'm thinking maybe 25, 30. It might not, be ready to really go, but I mean, it has been giving some big breakouts. We had the 350, then the 390, and now 420. Hmm. Maybe this is the hot stock that's going to transition us back into a hot market, right? Well, all right. Better late than never. Let's see how the resumption does. I'm not going to be overly aggressive. I'll have 2,000 shares, but I will keep bigger share size in case it's necessary. Oh nine. What's that? No, 19. 19 and 19 seconds. Brother, brother. This is where the fun should begin. But I love the move back through 90. Like once it got up there, 95, 96. When the stocks are weak, a lot of times right there, it's to the depths, right? It just flushes down 85, 80, 70, and just, but being that we didn't, I mean, other times it can gradually come down too, but when it's really weak, sometimes you come up 95, 96, and then just, well, it was good to see us get through four. So once we start eating out those sellers at four, buying up those shares, I'm seeing those artists coming down, and I jump in. I'm in at 99, out at 406, 407 area, taking a couple cents. This trade here is going to throw me off a little bit though. It's a scratch trade, and I'm like, are we ready? Right? And I thought I was buying high at 403 because I'm thinking maybe it needs to come back down some more, like 97, 96, and then go back up to 410. Because that's usually what we see, right? But it held up 403, which is pretty high. Guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. We have a chance here to lock in some gains. We'll see how it goes. Looking to manage risk though, as usual. 19 and 19 seconds. We got less than a minute to resumption. And the market has been so weak that there's probably people still shorting. Don't worry. It's time. If this is strong now, we're not going to spare any entry. We're not sparing any prisoners here. You're going to have to feel the pain of these last 3 weeks. But the market has a say, so I'm looking to manage risk either way. We got a couple seconds. We're at 468. No fear, no hesitation. Here we go. It's strong. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to get an entry. It's almost like it's too strong, which is crazy. But there was an entry at 65 though. False halt. Can we get more of a dip? So hard to get into a rhythm here. Just teleports up 40 cents. Oh, not good. I gotta be careful. Red, all right, sizing now. Coming down to 15. Oh, 1K. Coming down to 1K. Not ideal, not ideal. I 85. Like we're seeing areas that could be entries, but then it teleports up 20 cents like instantly. The high is at 85. This is a very welcoming sign though. Come on. If I can connect, I'll size back up. But I gotta be able to connect. I'm not worried about the red. It's one decent trade on a stock like this. But we gotta connect. There's a hidden seller 75. Maybe a small one, but something. KB, are the Bulls still alive? Is it getting ready? Oh, come on. 49. Perhaps a little too aggressive there because I could have waited for 75 to break. That was a good build up. That low is 33. I saw, I think I saw 40, but it's saying the low is 33. Maybe a wild order got filled there. You gotta be really quick to get some decent fills, that's for sure. I'll try again. What's the low? 16. Fair trades there. Fair trades. If I'm gonna ever be red trying to be aggressive, it has to be on a stock like this. So I don't mind but I would love if we can connect on a few trades here. We can't buy a winning trade to save our life. 16 for the lows. This is within my realm, within a hot market, so I don't mind the loss at all. You know, sometimes on a hot day, it is possible that you don't connect. You get on the wrong side of the momentum. But I want to keep my share size small here, 1500, not size up my base size until I can connect here if it has, you know, another stretch. One good sequence. One good sequence is all we need. Gotta be careful of the backside though. Right now it's kind of like a slow grind down. We're not really bottoming, at least not yet. I'd like to see something a little more dramatic here, but we might not get that. 5 could be the low. You know, have we priced it in there at 06 perhaps? But just very difficult to tell here, the way how it's kind of just grinding lower, grinding lower. Oh, 05. Are we coming down? Man, this level 2, man. Come on. The first green candle here is probably going to be pretty decent. But again, you know, we come back up there to 14, 15. We're back down to 6. Could I get long here and put a bigger stop in place? Hide the current candle. The new candle is 20 seconds out. 17. Son of a gun, man. Yo, this stock. Really? Let's see how this does. Is it gonna go 17? We need to get over 17. Brother. That was a good trade too. I'm expecting it to go below 5 right there. But it holds on for so long that the very last minute I changed my mind. It gets up to 08 and then teleports to 92. Come on. The first green candle here should be good. And it is good from 17 to 42. Is it failing? 11. Kind of low for 40, too high. Nothing like being able to anticipate the move and then still missing the trade. Well, I guess it's just not my day, and I'm kind of getting a little too red. I'm red 1500 here, which is not good. So I think this is fair for this stock, but of course would have loved to be on the winning side of things. But this is how I'll increase my risk to give myself a chance. Like if this doesn't like go, you know, versus days like yesterday and last week, like I wouldn't put this much risk out there to give myself a chance. But on a stock that can move like this, I don't mind putting out some size. If I get caught, you know, it's part of the deal. But I'll look to ease off. And at this point, if I can get any sort of damage control, that could be good. But if not, that's all right. But this is definitely a good sign to start a new month. If we can see more of this throughout the month, then it should be a great month. The amount of things that has to go wrong for me to miss all of these moves, I tell you. Over 42 should be interesting for the 5 minute setup. We'll see if it continues to hold up. So far, it is looking healthy. The move up from 92 was pretty good. If we can maintain and then the volume comes in, perhaps over 42 can be pretty good. So I'll watch with the smaller size. Perhaps I can get some damage control here. Looking pretty decent still. We're seeing some smaller sellers up here. Smaller sellers. I want to see more volume though, more volatility in areas like this. What a stock though. And this is why you gotta always on every day look to be reactive, because sometimes you can be thinking that it's going to be another slow day, and here you are, hot market momentum out of the blue. Yesterday, a stock taking 1 hour to go up 30 cents. Today, it's happening in mere moments. Let's pull back here. We'll see how it does. The new 5 minute candle is a couple seconds out. Waiting patiently. I've sized down a little bit. Just looking to take it easy. The high of the last 5 minute candle was 36. Son of a gun. Son of a gun, son of a gun, son of a gun. And that's going to be the 5 minute candle to make the new high at 36. We got to be careful of it failing though. Can we hold up? It looks like it's struggling. It might sell off here. Yep. Well, that looks like it might be it. Not bad. This was not a bad stock. Not bad at all. I think that might do it for the stock though. We wouldn't want to see this type of move sell off like that. But the entry at 36 is there. Green hits the tape since like 26. Oh my goodness. I gotta study this one. These first days for me are always tricky. Like over the years, like I gotta still be better, which is good. There's room to improve. Well, over the years, whenever the market slows down and then the first hot stock comes along, it's like right there, I had no reason to not be in. Like I had no reason to not be in. I had no reason to not be. I could have been in at 26, 30, 32, 36. The move goes to 68. The dip even gave a bounce, but it didn't continue. It sold off after bouncing from 50 to 65, I think. This was a beautiful move, man. This was a good stock. Hopefully, though, we can see some continuation throughout the rest of this month. One day to shake off the rust, and then POAI. Will there be any sort of sympathy momentum today? I don't know. We'll see. It might not be a bad idea to stick around, though. SYT, the volume is lighter there. Could be a day that we see some other stocks do well. Though that last trade there is kind of tricky, right? Like, I gotta do a better job. Falling asleep at the wheel. Falling asleep at the wheel. Trading is this thing where this field where you got to try to stay locked in as much as possible. There can seem as if there's downtime, but there really isn't downtime because everything kind of, correlates. But to be very honest, I'm not in a 26 there because I'm thinking about a trade that happened, like 30 minutes ago about the area. But then I kind of see the tape in the side of my eye moving. It's almost like a daydream, right? Like I'm watching at it, but I'm also not really watching at it. So the green in the side of my eye is hitting. By the time I look up, I'm seeing 30, 31, 32. There's a sense of like, uh-oh, I'm kind of slacking. I should have already been in. Is how I'm feeling mentally. Although it's just a difference in a couple cents, 27 to 32, 5, 6 cents. But in a, again, in a hot market though, the expectation, okay, we're still gonna see a 30-cent move. I've missed 7 cents of it. I'm gonna still buy high. It's kind of what happened there to me. Just I kind of felt like I was chasing it, although 36 was still the entry. Let's say the main entry. Gotta not, gotta not get caught slipping. That's what that is. Getting caught slipping, slacking. But a good day nevertheless. I think it's a good day. I'm red, but that's cool within my risk management of a hot stock in a hot market and putting risk out there. Being red this amount of money is not an issue for me. But hopefully we can see more momentum like this tomorrow and onwards throughout the month. That would be pretty good. We can have a pretty good month if this is the case. But I'll take the L and hold what I have. Take the lesson and come back next time. I'm gonna review this though. I'm gonna review this. Hate to see this type of stock slip through the cracks, but it'll happen from every now and again. I think though it's a day to stick around a little bit. So if we do see something else later in the day, I think I'll take some trades. Maybe I can push the live stream to like 10:50, 10:55. Maybe give it a couple more minutes to do the closing statements. But I think sticking around today might not be bad. So for those people who, I think it was Green Dream and someone else, Green Dream and someone else who wanted to do the screen share. So we can do that in a little bit here. In the next like 10 minutes. Could be good. This is where the longer hold time could be a little messy though in like these particular areas. It's like you could get chopped out, right? It's like if you're, and it depends on the expectations and like what you're looking for to take profits. But if you're looking for that bigger move and extension, it could become an issue. But if you're taking that 15, 20, 30 cents, then it could be pretty good still in this type of area. Like maybe the 1 minute candle to make the new high, risk lowered at the lows, or maybe if you're in here properly against the lows. These trades are always tricky though, because sometimes, especially off of a candle like this, you're never sure if you're going to get the complete retest. And level 2 for me on this one was a little tricky on some of these dips in these areas. You're never sure if you're going to get the complete retest of the, and let me zoom out of here. All right. You're never sure if you're going to get the complete retest of the lows, or if we do end up holding up a little higher in a situation like this. And if we do, and you're in that longer hold time, and here in MMU we trade very quickly. Some people they hold longer, right? Depending on like style of trade. This type of thing can get you out of the trade here. This candlestick. One moment you're up like 90 cents. 5 seconds later you're up 10 cents, and you're wondering what the heck happened. But under this context here, we move forward and put that red candle out of the way. We zoom forward like this. And if you were to attempt the same trade again in an area here, then it pays off splendidly, right? For the push through. All right, this is good. You see, this right here motivates me tremendously. Okay. All right, the market got this round, but best believe Relentless traders coming. Let us see some good opportunities tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to overcompensate, but I'll be ready. But we'll see. The market always has a save. Tomorrow goes back to being slow. Then of course we're looking to take it easy, reduce size and just kind of take it you know one trade at a time. But if we were to see something sweet like this, I can already taste the green, and it tastes good. So I'll be ready. I think now's not a bad time for the closing statements, because if not, we're gonna start to ramble on here, and there doesn't seem to be anything else. I can give the watch list a quick look through. Maybe look at the check out the scans one last time, and then I'll be moving on with the day. Yeah, it's looking. We're not really seeing a ton else. Jeez, can't talk. You got to stay motivated, man. You got to keep the winner's mindset. It's like yesterday I was at this playoff game, right? Rooting for the Knicks. You're coming in, trading it. Not to get too much into it, but trading is, as we know, they're saying in the community, right? The broader communities, it's a tightrope walk, and not everybody sees what I see, which is fine. Some people will see the market in a different way. But even for a red day like this, like, it might not seem like it, but it's a pretty close day. But that's the difference, right? The dollar amount is just going to reflect the share size that I'm using. The bigger the share size I'm using, the bigger the dollar amount will be. But in terms of like the areas that was present for opportunities and the decision making, like a day like this is very close to being like a $10,000 day. Again, that might not make sense to everybody, which is okay. That's perfectly fine. But that's what motivates me, seeing a strong stock like this and knowing the potential, right? Knowing the potential. If I trade the same stock, a month ago, where my mindset is just different, I'm more aggressive, right? I'm not waiting for any sort of like that resumption. There was an entry on that resumption. I didn't take it. I just thought it was too. I thought it was too aggressive, and then I think maybe I'm worrying too much about the risk because I know I kind of haven't capitalized, and to take that trade no matter how you twist it and turn it, it is an aggressive trade, because I would have been buying it simply off the fact that the selling did not come immediately, which is risky because sometimes it is delayed. And when you get caught in that trade, it's not a good loss. If you're giving back profits, you can sacrifice profit. Sometimes I'll do that, right? All right, hey, I'm green 2K, and I'm gonna take on this trade knowing that I could lose like 1,500, and I'm gonna be fine with that, right? But it's like, all right, man, I kind of miss some of these bigger moves. Got to not be so risk advert in this particular situation. I'd have been long at like 70. It teleports up. That would have been a great trade. But yeah, the mindset, is part of it, right? Being very aggressive, but not fighting fire with fire, but bringing that water and extinguishing, as you go, right? Having that high intensity. But yeah, so I think that'll do it for today. Um, and the Knicks analogy was just to say that they lost a tough game, right? I mean, it was such a good game, great atmosphere. But if you know that you're the better team, this is it. This is what it's all about, right? Like, I'm seeing two roads in front of me. One road is saying yes, use this energy, channel it, study up, and come back ready and want the smoke. The other road is, hey, fold up like a little lunchbox and go go into the corner and cry, right? You gotta choose. As the trader, we have to choose, right? And this will be presented to us in various ways, not only in trading, but just throughout life in general, right? We can always choose how we want to react to a situation. So I will be reacting on the path of righteousness and doing what's right and doing for me, you know, what I know is necessary to ensure success. So I'm ready. Let the next day start right now. Uh Spartan, man. Way to make a good joke out of it. But anyhows, yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Um for those of you guys who want to check out the Discord, that's our chat room, right? After the live stream ends, that's where the conversation continues, right? It's before the live stream, during the live stream, and after the live stream. You guys can feel free to check it out. I can post a link here. And for those of you guys who are interested in the scanning software here on the left hand side of the screen, it's called Momo Pro. Momo Pro. I'm going to post the link. For those of you in the chat, you guys can feel free to share the link to anyone who might be interested. And I'll also post it here in the YouTube live stream. Why is it doing this? Hold on. Did it post? It's okay, I'll post it again. Yeah, so there's the link for those of you guys who are interested in classes. You guys can feel free to check it out as well. It's for those of you who might be newer to the channel. It's called MMU, Merciless Markets, because as we know, these markets are merciless, right? The markets will chew you up and eat you alive if you allow it to. So you got to stay sharp if you are interested in this hyper active style of trading. And I think today I could have took more trades, but again, earlier the stock was a little more stiff, I'd say, in certain areas. But yeah, if you're interested in this style of trade, you guys can feel free to check it out. There's a great lead team here. There's not only myself, but there's also Marcelo, Tim, Triad, and the whole nine, right? You got the whole Discord community there. The Team House guys, Calamity, right? Shout out to guys like Calamity, Crispy, Save, who are an extension of what we're doing here, right? Great group of guys, great team. But yeah, you guys can feel free to check it out. The lead members are myself, Marcelo, Tim, and Tom, right? Tom, aka Triad Trading. We can talk a little bit about last month, and then we'll shut it down. I had 2 red days to end the month, which wasn't great, right, in terms of the day ending red. But other than that, we did manage risk. We got caught yesterday in like a $250 loss in the first couple of minutes of the open, which was not ideal. Yeah, so this was the month right here. I can go to full screen. Did we import for the last day? Well, no, we did not. We got to import for Saturday, no, the 29th and the 30th. So I can import now. I can do that now. Let's go ahead. Let's see, monitor. Let's go back to the 26th, just in case I took more trades on that. I always go back at least one day, just in case on that particular day I went back and took more trades, because sometimes I do. Like after the live stream is done, let's say I'm here, let's a random time, 2:15 p.m. and the stock starts to move nicely. I'll always trade, even if it's with small size first. If the opportunities make sense for what I look for, then I will always trade. All right. Let's see. import documents, all these downloads. I think I have TraderView downloading CSV for like years now. Let's give it a sec. Okay, there we go. So 16.4 for the month of April. We'll do a full breakdown later today. Not a great month at all. These, I mean, almost like all of these. Can I highlight this? It's not letting me highlight. Like all of this is like wash. You know, you compare this like month over month to, let's see, win-loss versus days. Let's see. This month, can I get the report? Sometimes I forget how to do this stuff. Win-loss versus days. Maybe it's not the right place. I'm too young for my memory to be going like this. Compare. Okay, it's compare. I believe they have this month versus last month already in here. Yeah, there we go. This blue light. Oh, I guess it's going for this month. We'll have to set the dates. We can do the left-hand side. SYT pushing up, but lighter volume. SYT. March 1st, March 31st, April 1st, April 30th. This is a pretty promising sign for the new month, though. It's like a 50% drop off month over month. Accuracy somewhat the same. Total trade somewhat the same. Volume down 100,000 shares. Well, I don't know. About 30,000 shares, which is not that much. I would have thought that I took less trades. Total fees almost identical. I wonder if this is the same for the last month as before as well. Well, yeah, should be close. Hold times. Let's see, 8 by 8, 5 by 5. Yeah, it goes to show you the difference in the momentum though on a lot of those days. And most of those days, I like 90% of the days, I didn't stick around. Like once I was done with the live stream, I was done with the day. Right? I was like out of here. 1,600 a day versus 750 a day. May we should have a nice dance. You know, I'm gonna say this. May, you know, allow me to have this dance. You guys see the type of energy that I put out there. But yeah, I'm gonna shut it down. It's 11 o'clock. If something comes up later, I can perhaps come back with small size. But if not, I'll take it easy the rest of the day and wait for tomorrow. Hopefully, you can see some nice momentum again. But yeah, with that being said, stay safe, stay green. It's been Relentless Trader. Hit that thumbs up if you have not already on the way out. And I'll catch you guys next time.